Hello, Thomas Orths, Window and Change TV. Another airport, another day of traveling, another day of working with executives from a large global firm. I just came back from a meeting this morning here in Luxembourg, heading off back to Frankfurt. And we were touching on the effectiveness and efficiency of meetings, especially meetings online. And there's two words that can make executives frown or sometimes even roll their eyes, and that is WebEx conferences. Now, WebEx is a large provider. They give you online tools so you can basically meet and connect with your colleagues around the globe. You have a visual screen where you can see PowerPoint slides, whatever you want to share, and you've got an audio stream. So you can save tons of time, tons of money, because you can just connect like that. Sounds great. Problem is, it becomes a real burden with executives. And this is what we found. How many meetings do you have per week? Think about it. Maybe 10, maybe 20. How many of those are done via WebEx? If you work in a global context, chances are 20, 30, 40% are done via WebEx. How efficient are those meetings? How good do you feel when those meetings is showing up in your calendar? Oh, another WebEx. We found that basically a lot of executives have a problem with this medium, and they wish it would be much better than it is. Now, there is ways to improve. We can train your people up how to use it much better, much more effective. And I want to use this video log to give you some ideas, some hints, what is possible. Let's look at the problems. One problem is maybe the technology. The login doesn't work very well. Maybe the slides freeze halfway through. You've got some problems in your sound. It's not good. Sometimes you've got these feedback loops and you've got background noises. And maybe there's some problem in the way the facilitator, the host of the meeting, runs it. Monologue, 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 PowerPoint driven. Everyone just has to sit there and listen. No wonder people doze off and do something else. Maybe there's also a problem that the audience doesn't feel good about it in the first place. You've got this history of resentment towards those WebEx meetings because they are so boring. So how can you address those issues? Well, the first thing that I would advise, that we would advise, act as if you are in a real meeting. If you are the host, the main facilitator of that WebEx, speak and act as if you are in front of a group of 5 to 10, 15 people in a real room. That means get out of your chair, stand up. You need a headset for that, microphone here, listening, and then use your hands, use your voice differently, move around a little bit, act as if you are in front of a live audience. It will all show up in your voice. See, the problem is everyone is sitting on their desk, looking down, no hand movement, no body movement, and then they start to talk in a low voice, and it cannot be inspiring. You need to act as if you are there live in the room. It may feel strange, but believe me, it works. The other thing is that I always advise you that sometimes you can use the audio stream via WebEx, which is internet-based, but we advise you that you use the audio stream via a conventional landline telephone system. Because if the screen freezes or the slides don't work anymore, you can always still carry on just doing a conventional landline conference call. So this is also important to separate both. Sometimes people get distracted because they feel I have to do the presentations, I have to move the slides, I also do the protocol. No, no, no. You save thousands of euros, dollars for the flight tickets, thousands of euros, dollars for the travel time. You need to invest in someone else being there and writing the notes if that's what you want to do. And you just focus on being with the people, listening to the sounds, asking questions. And someone else does the minutes. You can also just record the whole session, the sound and the video, and then someone can look at it later, write the minutes later. Someone who missed that conference can look at it later. But don't get into the trap of doing the slides, being a facilitator, plus doing the notes. And last but not least, if you want it to be interesting, engaging, you need to engage the people. Ask them questions, wait for a pause. If there's no answer, pick out individuals and request their answer. You can do desktop sharing, so that means, okay, in 2 minutes we want your input. Show us your screen, tell us what you have, and we will basically go from participant to participant. So your input is vital. You personally address the people, you wait for them to prepare, and then you wait for them to contribute. And you take your time. So they know when they are in your WebEx session, it won't be about listening, it will be about discussing, engaging, and giving input. And that will make you stand out towards so many other WebEx conferences that are just basically about I do the talking, you do the listening, and we have to get through those 1.5 hours. It's not easy to have this engagement process, but it's doable. And this is what we can train your executives, your global players on. And there will be a difference. Because they can't see you, you need also to use metaphors and come up with comparisons. You need that humor, sometimes that icebreaker that makes people a little bit giggle, a little bit laugh. You're still a serious business person, but it needs this different energy. And it needs almost to be exaggerated because they can't see you. They need to hear it in your voice. Sometimes also we go away from the PowerPoint slides, we do a little bit live waving with live cameras, and then we freeze the cameras, we go back to the slides. You can move away from the slides to a note taker. A note taker is almost like an electronic flip chart, so you can do some scribbling. There's lots of stuff you can do to make it interesting. People want variety. They don't want to be bored. So trust us, if you spend a lot of time and money in WebEx, give it a try and see what we can come up with to make your WebEx participants so much more impactful. Give it a try and judge by the results. I wish you a good evening. See you soon. Bye-bye.